wonder over the.
All right, looks like we are already live. So welcome, family. And he said, yep, we are live. Okay, awesome. Hey, everyone. Welcome to our Enter Shaolin, Enter Tai Chi live that we do most Sundays. And we've been pretty consistent for January. So I'm very happy about that. Good to have you all. Hopefully, my connection stays good for everyone because we do have a storm system that is rolling on in for the past like 35 minutes or so. So hopefully we will be good and we'll stay connected. I'm your host, DJ Jamie. I also have Sifu Fu here on with us as well. I'm going to also see who we have on real quick and see who's popped in so far. Give me a moment. I'm waiting for YouTube to show me the live. There we go. There we go. And guys, I'm really sorry if you guys are seeing uh, it looks like I'm even getting commercials and stuff on our own channel, which is kind of hilarious because I'm logged in as myself. But the only way to prevent that nowadays is for you guys to get their YouTube premium thing that they have. I think it's like $9 a month. So if you're really like, I hate commercials on YouTube, unfortunately, that is really the only way to get rid of them. We don't get paid a lot for our YouTube ones or anything like that. So like I think we maybe make $300 a month from our ads. So feel free to, get an ad blocker. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Or just pay the fee. I think it
I
comes
have
with some
YouTube
other cool
Premium.
stuff too. Yeah, or just get that. I think it comes like with music and some other cool like features that it used to not have. So there's multiple ways to get right around that if you're like, man, what is up with all these commercials? That's what's up with it. YouTube wants more money. That's all. Really all it is. They want to make more money. So let's see who we have on right now. We got Ralph coming in from Dallas, Darren coming in from Western Australia. We have Zen Photo Journey, aka Melanie, coming in from Southern Utah. We also have Ralph saying that he says, glad to see you all, family. Good to have you on. John says, hi, all. Good to have you on, John. All right, cool. Well, let us know what questions you have, family. Obviously, we just started up, so we got plenty of time to answer everyone's questions. So feel free to go ahead and let us know what questions you have about health, wellness, fitness, and obviously kung fu and anything else within reason. Okay, within reason. Uh, good to see you all on. Good. And then I see we got some more people popping on the live stream right now. So feel free to let us know where you're coming in from in the chat and if you have any questions. While we're waiting, does anyone have any news they'd like to share? What about you, Sifu?
News wise, I can't think of any new news I have. I talked about my Echamento. I got the new coating.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, I guess I could talk about that. It seems to work good. So it actually is scratch resistance where you just kind of just hit it, your nail on it won't come off, but it's easy to come off when you write on it. So I think we found the right coating.
Okay.
So I'm happy about that. So I gotta which I have to write to my engineer. I forgot to write to her and just talk about it. And so yeah, I think that's good. I think by this Christmas we'll have Etchamento out.
All right. Awesome. So that's some good news. Well, I have some good news. Last week, well, I have some bad news and good news. Bad news is I wasn't able to do the relocation of our website and everything like that because my daughter went into labor. She actually went for her appointment on Monday. They decided they were going to induce her because she ended up unfortunately having preeclampsia. So it was actually like really just stressful for like several days. She was in the hospital extra while they were inducing her and just monitoring her and stuff like that. So that was nerve-wracking to say at the very least. But we do have a new family member to our Enter Shaolin family. My first granddaughter from my only daughter that I currently have right now, Jaya. She decided to name her Mira. So fortunately, I'm not allowed to share any photos yet online, but soon I should be able to share a photo. She's super cute. She was born on the 7th at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So they just got to go home late on Friday, and which was good because originally they were saying that they were going to keep Jay and the baby for like 2 to 3 days, and then they decided that she was doing so good after the delivery that they went ahead and only kept her for a full day after delivery. So that was awesome. So they've been home. Their first full night over home and stuff like that was like Friday night and stuff. And my daughter's been giving me little updates every day, sending me photos every day, and just let me know how they're doing. And so far, they're doing really good. So that is my news, which is pretty big news. So that's pretty cool. And that what I had on my bingo card for my 44th year of life, but God knows better than I do. So it's going to be an interesting wild ride, I'm sure. Let's see. How's the weather there? The weather has been, oh, that was another thing. My grandbaby decided to come in a very unseasonably warm weather, which is kind of the precursor to the storm that is brewing right now. So it was like in the 50s and sunny and beautiful for like several days. Unfortunately, those were all the days that they were both in the hospital. And then it started get cooling off a little bit Friday when they went home, and it's been like cloudy and rainy and off and on like sunny slash stormy for the past several days. I think it's in the 40s right now. So that's what our weather is. But I think the temperature is going to drop. I'm assuming this is a cold front coming in. Oh, nope, it is now 36 degrees currently. So that is our weather, and we have lots of wind and some storms coming through. So, but it looks like after that, we will have some sunshine for the next several days. So I'm looking forward to it. How's the weather where you're at besides hot, apparently? Thanks. Thank you, Ralph. Appreciate it. Darren says, congratulations, CJ. Good timing with. Oh, it wouldn't matter because here we are allowed to have religious exemption in New Jersey. So she already had all her paperwork ready. I will say that my daughter does not listen to everything that I've taught her, but at least that was something that she made sure that she kept close to her because she saw in her own life, the benefits of being vaccinated versus not and all that fun stuff. So I'm proud to say that my little grandbaby does not have any vaccines. She made sure in her birthing plan that they already had all that stuff written out and everyone was on the same page and everything. So that was really cool. And speaking of birthing plans, like I didn't even know there was such a thing when I had my daughter. So it's so cool that she was able to learn new things because it's just so much more common now to have a birthing plan and things like that. So it was really cool to hear that. But yes, it is good to hear that the United States has decided to, I think it was like was it 70 something injections that kids were getting for their full cycle, and now it's down to 11, which is what it used to be in the 80s before they made a lot of changes. So I am super excited because that means a lot of children are going to have a lot less toxins and things bombarding their systems and their bodies, and I'm sure over the next decade or so we're going to see a lot more healthy children, which I'm excited for. So yeah, it's very good timing though, indeed. Since photo Melanie says, I'm glad they're both doing well. Thank you. John says, I heard engineer. It just got very hard when it doesn't need to be. Um, I heard engineer. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, John. Help me out here. What's going on there? Caesar's coming in from San Diego, California. Good to have you on, brother. Senvoda says burr. It's actually not that bad for this time of year right now. Like I said, it's usually a lot colder in January. So I know it sounds like, if you're not used to this weather, it's pretty cold. And I'm a Floridian, guys. So I'm telling you, it's not that cold. It's really not that bad right now. So it's pretty nice. Minus the wind. Minus the wind. All right. We got Errol coming in from London, UK. Good to have you on, brother. So, what questions do you guys have? Let's get to some Kung Fu questions. Is there anything that you've been struggling with this week that you want to talk about or need help with, or maybe a scenario that you want to work through? Let us know. And if not, maybe we can do a mini lesson. Let me know, Sifu, if you have any ideas for some topics on that.
Hard to do mini lessons just by myself. I don't have a
Well,
partner to demonstrate.
lectures. Well, you can do stuff on solo training. This is a good time to start delving into stuff that's solo training.
I could do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where's Sifu Larry?
I think he's working right now.
Mm. I does anybody have anything that they have a difficulty in doing something? Questions about doing a technique they're finding a hard time doing? Question about a technique? Let me know and we can focus or any topic you want to cover, and
Mm.
that'll give me an idea of what we can cover.
Yeah.
Anybody? If not, I can just go over some type of solo drills, like go over like the punching, the hand, the structure. Like that. If you guys have something you want to learn or understand or improve upon, I just need you to tell me so we can focus on that.
If no one wants to speak up, I think talking about proper punches and how to accomplish that would be really good because I know that's one of the hardest things that it takes for a lot of people to get down.
Well, Caesar just put in
Oh, there we
something.
go. Caesar said, my question today, thank you for the super chat, Caesar, because my question today is the first third of Tai Chi breakdown to the close, or for the close, rather, for the close.
From the beginning to the end, that's a long, long time to go over everything.
No,
Um,
no, no. I think he just means the breakdown of the closing itself.
of the first third.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to the part with withdrawal push. I think we did like this into this closing. Um, hard because like I said, we don't have the camera, we don't do anything. Um, but if you're gonna talk about from this here, from the flex parry punch, the withdrawal of this part here, the push, I can do that in the closing if that's what you're asking me. Let me know. Just put a thumbs up or something if that's what you want me to cover that part. But until then, I'll just go over that. If I need to go back further, just like I said, thumbs up is that's where you want me to start from. If not, just let me know where you want to start from in terms of the part of the form. Okay. So withdraw push. Okay. Basically, withdrawal push is you start off by turning your wrist and keeping the base strong. So this is like if someone's punching you, you know how to intercept someone's punch. So if someone's coming at you, the hand intercepts somewhere in the forearm. You want to have a very strong base, torque your wrist so that way the energy turns back to the opponent. At the same time, this hand, your left hand, will come underneath towards your elbow this way. And again, it slips up this way, basically doing the other side at the same time. So you're just going to go one like this. So your rotation of the wrist is going to come up. Your arm's going to naturally rise because of the torque of the wrist. Have to have a very good base structure. Don't try to pull back up and roll that energy in your shoulder. It should go up towards your hand, if anything. So I'm going to be, it's going to go like this towards my hand. Now you can see I'm kind of extending it out. It's not technically extending. I'm exaggerating so you can see where the energy is supposed to go. So when you do that, it's supposed to rotate this way. So it's going towards the wrist, towards the pinky side on both of the hands. Okay. Once you get to that cross where you're going to turn up, you're going to basically rotate your wrists outward towards your pinky side. So it looks like you're doing this. So you're just basically hooking your wrist this way. It's about the width of the shoulder. Once you get to from the pinky to the width of the shoulder, your body's going to draw back and you're just going to let your arms move back and you're going to bend at the elbow, not roll the shoulder. So you don't want to roll the shoulder like this. You want to bend the elbow. This natural rise of the height with that. And then the hand will draw down with the base. And you can't see my legs, but I'm on my heel at this point. I'm sinking back towards my rear leg, and I'm up on my toe, and I have my heel on the ground, but my toes up in the air. When I draw the hand down with the elbow, the toe goes down with it. Your body's gonna feel like this more sinking into the ground. So you kind of like drop your height just a little bit with the palm, and then when it gets about the hands gets about the waist level, you're gonna arc and push up and forward to bring the energy up that way. So on the withdrawal, I wonder if I can move back so you can see more of it. So it goes from here, wrist turns on both sides, and you're gonna fold like you're touching wrist and elbow like this on both sides. You're gonna slide the left hand over the top of the right as you hook over top, and you draw on your heel while holding the base, and the hand's gonna naturally rise up and draw back. The hand's gonna drop down when your toe goes to the floor, and it goes down to about your waist level. Then you're gonna arc up and go forward. When you go forward, you don't want to go forward and extend. So on a profile, you don't want to go like this and push. You want to have whatever angle you have, and you're going to just keep that angle on the way up. So let's just call it saying that's 135 degrees, whatever. You can make up whatever number you want. I just picked the number. So you're going to stay 135 degrees going up. You can't go from 135 to 180 like that. So you don't want to overextend the arm. You just want to, whatever angle you have with your arm when you're ready to push, you should be able to push in the same angle on the way up as you drive. So there's going to be a forward drive and upward drive at the same time. So the angle that you have is basically when you get to around your waist. That's the angle you have. Now you might go a little bit lower than the waist, a little bit higher than the waist. It's okay. It's a range. Okay, it's an acceptable range you can do. So when you hear whatever it is, you're gonna lock that elbow as you arc forward. You're gonna shift your weight up and forward, and you're gonna drive your palm, like I said, an upward forward motion at the same time. Once you get to here, you're just gonna basically make like a diamond with your finger and your thumb, so it looks like a diamond or a triangle, however you want to look at it. And you're gonna sit back on your heel. Oh, it came off camera. You're gonna sit back and heel. You want to turn to your right so you can face north if that's where you're starting, or east, wherever you're starting. Like I said, it just depends on where you start. Then you're gonna have that diving look here. You're gonna basically just have your toes pointed out 45 degrees. You're gonna arc your hands like a circle, bend your knees, and you're gonna come back up. And as you come up, your toes point straight north. And you're gonna sit with your arms crossed, right hand in front of left, wrist to wrist. That's how it should be. Let me know if that's where you wanted me to start, and if that's explained to you well. Like I said, it's hard for me to get the camera on me because it's stationary. I hope you can see that well. But like I said, from the front view, you are basically arcing your wrist where your pinky's turning upward towards the, like, let's say your opponent's in front of you. This one going to go underneath, and your hands are going to be wrist to wrist. Wrist just arcs up, and the hand just crosses like this, turning your pinky out. When you get to about shoulder width, you draw on your heel, and you sit back and you draw down, and then you shift your weight and arc forward. The pressure is always an upward forward motion together at the same time. So you want to keep that elbow very solid. You want to make sure you have your base throughout the motion. And hopefully that broke it down so you can understand that. If you have any other questions, just write.
All right, all right. Let's go over here real quick and see what we got going on. Let's see. Zen Photo says, how about a mini lesson on the different varieties of push-ups since Darren was asking about push-ups last week? That could be good. I like that one. And then John says, I still have difficulty with Tai Chi stuff. Can't seem to get it to look and feel seamless. Definitely is something that takes a while to get.
Okay. So one of the things is if you can't be fluid and natural, it's because your muscle may not have it yet. You're thinking about it before you're feeling it. So that's fine. It's natural. It's a natural way of learning. The key is you don't need to get all of it at once. Let's say you learn 20 movements. You don't have to get all 20 movements. Maybe the first two, three becomes fluid, natural, and the rest you're thinking that's okay. Eventually the two, three becomes four, five, and seven, eight, nine, and you become more connected there. And then it'll just jump because your body has this connection of feeling energy. You'll jump from like 8 to like 15 automatically because your body gets it. Like learn how to feel music. Learning to learn 4 or 5 steps might be difficult, but once your body gets that rhythm, how to move, it can develop it very quickly. So it's about just feeling it. Um, Again, I'd have to see your form to see what it is you're doing for me to target it and know exactly where you're off, where you're thinking, where you're actually disconnected, because that could be another thing. You could be disconnected. You could hold tension. Again, I need to see you to know what it is that where you're breaking, where you're making mistakes. So that's one of the things I am just speculating things that can happen to the body without looking at you. These are the things that you can do to break that natural fluid feeling. So just make sure that you don't have to try to get the whole entire thing fluid. Just get the first 3, 4 movements fluid. Then, just like I said, you have to think about the rest, work on it. That's fine. Your body, like I said, will start to develop that natural fluid motion as it gets better and better and better. So don't worry about it. Like I said, don't look to make it happen, let it happen. If you're trying to force that feel, that's why I like to say feel the force, don't
Yep.
force the feel. You're not trying to make something happen. You're trying to let something happen. So if you don't have it, it's not going to flow out. If you're trying to get it and you don't have it, it's like I use a good analogy is like if you're not rooted and you sink, sinking doesn't give you root. It only enhances root if you have it. So if you keep sinking but you don't have root, you're going to try this harder. Oh, I don't feel that power coming out because you're not rooted. So every time you add harder sinking level, like you're driving down hard, but you don't have the root, it's gonna feel forced. It's not gonna feel natural. It's the same thing. If you don't have that connection in your body to move where you're rooted and driving into your wrist and you're turning that connection, you're gonna force it somewhere, and then it's gonna feel forced. It's gonna feel rigid. It's gonna feel stiff. So you just have to relax and let the body come out and let it happen naturally.
Indeed, indeed. That is a lot of great points. So hopefully that'll help you. I know you're getting back kind of into the swing of things, John. Obviously, if you want to submit or do a live critique for the members only webinars, whether tonight or next week, please do. Then we can also give you some more specific critiques and help with that. Let's see. Caesar says, thank you, Sifu. What is the application of the form for the closing of the third part of Tai Chi?
Withdraw and push is basically anybody punches you in the face, straight line punch or hook punch, it's connected on the arm, allowing you to turn the wrist. So if my hand is hitting someone like this, I'm actually connecting. I'm only how to hook and draw the hand on top. So that's this part of your form when you do this here. That's someone punching me. I connect with the forearm. I turn the wrist over top the arm. That's me taking the arm, as you can see that. Then that draw down is me drawing the energy, taking them off balance, and me coming up as like a strike. That's one of the applications. So it's like if someone's punching me straight on, I'm hooking the wrist here, drawing it down, and coming right back up. That's one of the techniques that you can do. The other one is like where you use both arms. I can hook down and draw up. So I'm doing half the form, half the strike. So it could be like boom like that, and then I can turn this one this way. So it's just really teaching how to generate that structure to convert any pressure on your arm and just learn how to hook on top and then reversing it to a strike if that's what you're looking to do. There's other ways of doing it. There's other techniques, but that's the most simplistic way. I can give you an idea of how it's supposed to work. Someone's punching, you connect, you take the wrist, you rotate to the shoulder, because that's what's going to let you overlap the arm, and then just pressing down, takes the arm down, and the arcing will drive the strike up. So hopefully that you can see that in your head what I was trying to do.
Oh, hold on. Let me let Seafood Larry in. And yes, it is definitely frustrating, John, when you were feeling it, then you get injured and you kind of have to like go back to square one a little bit. But once you get it, and I'm sure you're going to get it faster than before, it's going to be amazing. And I think the more you are able to do that, um, and stay consistent, you're just going to get it. And Darren also made a good point about how he noticed with Qigong, the more he relaxes, the more energy you feel in the wrist. Absolutely. And that would be another thing, John. I don't know if you're doing your Qigong before your Tai Chi, but definitely do that because that'll also just help your mind and your body chillax and get your breath and everything in sync. And that way, when you go into your Tai Chi, it's going to be a lot more smooth naturally. Eric said, hip sitting down pose always, or is that the action button?
Are you talking about the hip just like with the knees bending, like I'm dropping my height?
Yeah, yeah, and having
That,
your pelvic tilted, I imagine too. Hmm.
well, like I said, bending your knees and bringing it down is to get you more energy, more power coming out of the ground. Do you have to do that? You don't have to. It just depends on how comfortable you are about rooting and connecting, whether you need to convert to get more power aside the opponent. You see that, oh, he's got much more committed energy. Sometimes you just need to dump him rather than convert it back. It just depends on the energy you feel. But sinking always enhances root if you have it. So it is a way to get more power without committing and leaning into the person and throwing your force against them. It's a way of driving more energy without relying on your size to deal with the opponent. So hopefully that gives you an idea why we sink. Do you have to be sinking? No. Remember, rooting is the key, not sinking. Sinking just enhances the root if you have it. So it's not about getting the sink, it's about getting the root. And then you can enhance it with the sink.
Well, hey, Super Larry, thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Lovely shades that you have on. Hopefully you guys can all see that. I just spotlighted everyone, so I think you can see us now. Yep, I was right. Okay, cool. All right, so very cool. I've never done the spotlight light live on here on YouTube, so I wasn't sure if it was going to show up right, but good to know that it does. He
Yeah.
said, Caesar said, thank you, Sifu. And then John says, yep, every morning to settle the mind. Awesome. Yeah, and make sure you do it before you do, like literally like back to back, like do your qigong and take a like maybe 5 minute just break to just like relax and then roll into your Tai Chi like that. If you're not already, of course. Melanie says, yep, we see you all. Awesome. All right, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Let me go back up here. Zen Photo Journey, aka Melanie, says, can we do a mini lesson on the different varieties of push-ups?
All right. Well, did you have Sufi Larry here to answer a question or something?
Yeah, he's here.
I'm just keeping everybody straight. That's all. That's all. Just make sure everybody's doing their job. Make sure they're doing a job.
Enforcing the law.
He's the enforcer. Oh.
Well, if you want to go with some push-up type of exercises, there are tons and tons of different types of push-ups. There's a lot of varieties of push-ups. Positioning your hands on your body will develop the way the chest works, the way the arm works. Doing push-ups is great because it does develop about 14 muscle groups in your body when you do a push-up. So it's not just chest and arms. It does work your lower back. It does work your quads. It does work your calves. It does work your shoulders. It works your obliques. It works your abs, the main abs there. It works the lower abdominal. So it's a very, very good workout because, like I said, I think it was 14 muscle groups that you were developing when you do proper push-ups. So the rule of any exercise is the more you go out, the more you develop in, the more you go in, the more you develop out. So if I take my hand, I go here, I'm going to have um, a better workout between the chest and the triceps. The more I go in, the more I'm going to develop out here. So I'm going to do less on my chest, the more I'm going to do on my triceps. The more I go out, the more I'm going to develop inside. So I'm going to develop less on the tricep, more on the chest. So just like I said, understand that basic principle. How you want to develop the muscle. Like I said, I want to work my chest, then you want to really go a little bit wider because you put less stress on the triceps, more on the chest. If you're like, I want to work more on my arms, then you can go in tighter. That'll work on your arms. That's why coming inward is a little harder on the push-ups because it's relying more on your triceps than it was on your chest. So those are the things that you want to get to understand the basis of position the hands. Okay. Obviously, if you build up here, it's going to build the back and the lower part of your chest more. Um, um, I mean, the upper part of your chest. If you go down more, it's going to build the lower part of your chest more. So these are, like I said, positioning half up, half down with develop one, two. So we've done tons and tons of video push-ups on push videos on push-ups to develop the different types of muscles. But I'm just giving you a basic understanding of how hand position will change the way you work your muscles. Um, there are people that do like where they're plank like this, where this is their shoulder, this is their hips, this is like say their feet. You know, I always like to say if you want to get rid of hitting that heaviness on your shoulders, like bend your hips to where when you do a push up, it's level to your shoulder or higher. This makes you do this. So you're actually angling. You're not dropping straight down. You're actually angling a little bit down and up. So you actually go forward a little bit and back a little bit on the ride. If you go more angle with your hips level, you're going to drop down and come up more like that. So that would help you, like I said, develop more chest than shoulders. When you go more like that, you work chest and shoulders more. Or when you bring your butt up high, you hit more your chest. So you get a better build on that. Um, different types of speed, doing fast, range of motion. So like going fast is good to develop explosive muscle. It's teaching you how to contract at a hard rate at a very short amount of time. So that's good for explosion type of power. Doing slow would keep you concentrated on strength. So it's good if you want to do it where you want a good hold on your arms, like you want to develop very powerful holds. If you're doing a grappling type of thing, technique, that's really good for that. If you want to do striking, the explosive is good for that. So there's all kinds of range of training, and they're all good. You can't say one type of training is best for developing an overall punch. No, speed is good, but you want to develop mass. So you do want to have that muscle contraction to help that strong base. Because remember, it's never one factor that develops power. Power has three things. So speed, which is the explosive that you can do. Um, the slow contraction is getting more mass behind it when you do it. And then like the turning the wrist doesn't really matter because you're not focused. This is all strength training. So those types of speeds that you can do, where you can do fast, explosive types, or slow and steady, they both develop good positive things for you when you do push-ups. So I always do varieties types of push-ups when I do it, so I can kind of like get an overall wellness of development. Like if you just benched alone, yeah, your chest can look good, but you would never look full as if you could do a flat bench in inclines, declines, pec decks, working on different types of exercises and push-ups. They hit the muscle slightly different, which develop the muscles to be more round and more equal and more balanced. So doing all types of these exercises is very good for you. Not one. Can you just do one for a while? Yeah, like sometimes when I train, I would train for 1 month, one specific type of way, then the next month, another specific type of way, then another month, another specific type of way. You can do that because you want to develop it. And once you develop it, then you can like blend it all together with different types of exercises. So it's okay to work a one way long time. Like I sometimes I would work a certain part of my body for 1 month and just hit that for that 1 month straight and not ignore the others, but don't prioritize the other. I want to prioritize my speed. I would do a lot of speed training in my training for that 1 month. And the next month, I might want to do more for like strength training, just holding my tendons and being able to be stronger at my tendons. And then the next month, I want to combine the two to explosive heaviness in my training. And so I'm always developing not just one trait. I want to develop all around because that way that gives me ability to be very heavy and yet still be powerful on my explosiveness. And then developing for just endurance and stuff like that. They're all very good for you. And so I would never say one training is what you should focus on. I always say you can prioritize that for this month and then next month go another. So that would be good for you to do that when you're doing type of exercise and push-ups, sit-ups, punches. It doesn't matter. They're all any exercise is good for you. But when it comes to push-up, like I said, understanding where hand position, develop the muscle, how it works, it's very important to do that to know. Like if I want to build more chest, get shoulder width or wider because that starts to hit the chest. Let's say shoulder width is about 50-50, 50 chest, 50 triceps. The more you go out, the more you go chest. The less you go triceps, the more you go in, the more you do triceps, the more you go, the less you do chest. So just understand position of the arms will change the way you hit your muscles. So I just gave you a quick breakdown of that. I hope that helped answer that for you.
Awesome, awesome. Lots of great tips there. And yes, all of those particular exercises that Sifu was talking about are also on the site in the core training section. So all that information is there if you want to deep dive and really kick some butt on your exercises, literally. So let's see. Darren says, if I miss my Qigong in the morning, by the end of the day, I'm starting to feel the old aches and pains coming back, kind of like a morning body service. Yeah, it's like a tune-up, literally. So tune up for your day. If you're feeling a little sleepy in the afternoon, instead of taking a nap, go do some Qigong, and then bam, you'll be ready to go for the rest of the day. Hey, I think your name is Phil Again B. Hurrah. Hurrah to you as well. Thank you for your service. I'm assuming you're part of our service, but I could be wrong. So Darren says, I'm doing them now. Good job. Good job. Eric Nelson, seeing the science of Wing Chun with Wang Sheng Lung and his
Now
hip
Wang
drops.
Shulong, Wang Shulong. He
Shulong.
spelled it
Okay.
wrong. Yeah, Wang Shulong.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh, you know what? I think you're right. Yep. Yep.
He's one
Yeah,
of Ip
I looked
Man's
it up.
top students, if
Mhm.
not the
Yeah, he
top
is.
student.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it is spelled wrong. But I think, I guess, depending on the dialect, some people spell it differently. So you are correct. He said, in regards to him, he says his hip drops are like some sort of oiled robot. Unreal. I haven't seen the Science of Wing Chun, so I cannot comment on that. Have you,
Well,
Sifu?
well, dropping hip, like I said, enhances your rooting power. It gives you
Mhm.
more power to drive. So yes, it's good to sink your hips when you want to. But do you need to? No, you don't. You don't need to sink. You can actually shift your weight. You can torque your waist. You can do other things that can enhance the body too. If you're stationary, sinking is better. Like if you're stepping and moving, sinking and torquing is good. If you're cutting an angle to move out of the way to come back in, um, shifting your weight, torquing your hips, and rooting to do. Again, these are all little things, the techniques that you can do to make your body stronger. But rooting is definitely one of the best ways you can do it. It's probably the most basic of all things that you need to do among all your movements. Like if I cut to the angle, I do want to root too because it does, I mean, sink as well to get more power out of it. But doesn't mean I have to. No, if I'm already rooted, I'm low to the ground. I don't have to re-sink. I don't have to re-root. If I already have it, I don't need to regain it. I can just use it. If I regain it, it means I lost it somewhere. So if I'm already kind of rooted and sunk low, I don't have to resync to get my power. I can explode up because I'm already, it's like a snake being coiled. He doesn't have to coil again to get more power. If he's already coiled, he can just spring out. He doesn't go coil again and come back. So if he doesn't have to coil, yes, he'll have to coil up to get the strike power. So if you already have your rooting, your sinking power already down, you're already low to the ground, then you don't have to reroute, you don't have to resync. It's not something you have to do every time, which is why I said if you already have it, you don't have to necessarily do it again because if you're already rooted and you're already sunk low, you can just use that to strike and count up off the ground to get your power. So that's why I said like it's not always necessary to root or to think because you might already be low to the ground already. You might already be in a low center of gravity to get your power to come out. So like I said, sinking is something that you can use to gain power, but if you're already there, you don't have to redo it. Every time I'm punching, I don't have to go punching root down, sink, punch root down, sink, punch root down, sink. If I'm already low, I can punch stay low, just stay that way. I can just use the torquing of the waist at that moment to maximize my power to have to without having to resync myself. So just understand that.
Lots of good tips there. I did try to see if I could find a clip of him doing that specific hip dip move type of thing, but I couldn't find anything quick enough. So if anyone has one, feel free to send it over to me and I will share it with everyone else. Let's see. John says, I like a frame, then closed hand, elevated, wide arm, elevated, then military, 50 each, good chest and tricep workout. Indeed. Indeed. And then Darren said the advanced push-up routine is my favorite, along with the punch crunches. Those are amazing. Absolutely. And then John says there are monthly conditionings on the site you can get to if you become a member at innershaolin.com. Yes, indeed. So yeah, we have the monthly conditioning, and then we have like a plethora of exercises for each part of the body. So lots of good stuff there if you want to really condition your body. And then let's see, Zen Photo, aka Melanie, said thanks. And let's see, what about pull-ups? Do you have any tips on pull-ups?
Okay, so there's pull-ups and there's chin-ups. Pull-ups is this way, chin-up is this way. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is the pull-up, this is a chin-up. So pull-up is where your palms are away from you. Chin-up is here. This develops more of the major back in the bicep here. This one works your shoulders and hits the back up here. Now, your gripping wise, the further you go, the more you're going to work to the inner side of your back. So it works on your trapezoid area, your trapezius muscles in the spot, the back, like that triangle building there. If you go more like tight like this, you're going to build up here. Like I said, if you go out more, you're going to hit more down here and towards your lower back. So that's a good way to do pull-ups. Again, you got to get in shape to a certain degree before you start doing the exercise. If you're out of shape, just don't jump into anything hard and heavy because if you're not used to it, you can pull a muscle, you can hurt yourself. I can't even do a pull-up right now because I have torn rotator cuff, so I'm not able to do that right now. So I don't even do that. So when you're doing this type of exercise with me, I always like to get now when working out, when you're trying to develop muscles, this is what I tell everyone I train, especially if you're lifting. Okay, it's not about moving the weight. Okay, it's about contracting the muscles. So you should not think about going heavy, going hard, so you feel like you're strong. It's not how to develop muscle. To develop muscles, it's about contracting the muscle. It is not about moving the weight. So I always like I train my son, I train my friend when we go working out. I said, if you want to develop the muscles well, get the full range of motion. Okay, it's harder to do, but it develops your muscles better because when you go halfway, you develop the bulk and your muscles. But if you get the full range of your muscle, basically like if I'm doing a pull-up, I'm getting my back muscle to stretch here. So I'm going to contract that muscle from here when I pull. So I'm going to make that back pull. If I'm just going to here like this, I go, ooh, 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 then I'm only developing like around here. For you to get a full range of growth, get the full range of motion. Let yourself go all the way out. Let yourself hang to where you feel like you can't go any further. Then slowly contract and bring yourself up as much as you can to close as you can do to a contraction. Like when you do a pull up, get your chin. Like when I was doing pull up, I would get my chest to touch. So it wouldn't be my chin over the bar. It wouldn't be till my chest hits the bar. That's how I track my muscle all the way to down there versus up to here. So I'm losing that little bit of contraction in my muscle so I don't develop it. So whenever I do any type of workout, I always like to go for the range of motion so I can contract the muscle best I can. So that's one of the key tips. If you really want to develop your body to look nice and develop well all around, that range of motion is the most important thing. It's never about moving the weight, it's about contracting the muscle. So the more I can let myself get out of more range of motion, that muscle, that stretch has to be contracted to help me pull that or push that kind of exercise to the range I need to. If you only go, like I said, like 3/4 the way, you only develop so much of the muscle. You get that full range of motion, you develop the full range of the muscle. So that just keep that in mind when you're doing a workout. It's never about moving the weight. It's always about contracting the muscles. If you want to develop good, you want to develop well, that's what you want to remember when you're doing it. Contract the muscles. You shouldn't throw weight just to throw. I've seen people in gyms just and they're doing this. It's like you're not able to lift that. If they would isolate your body from throwing your body like this, you're not really lifting that weight. They just do that because they want to feel good about moving such a heavy weight, but they're not really contracting the muscles. They're not looking bulk and defined. They'll just get this thick, bulky muscle look. But they don't get it. They get it like mainly like to here. They don't get it all the way up to here because they don't have that full range of motion. They only have that within a certain range here because that's all they're going. So if you want to look very rounded, very well developed, very powerful all around, the range of motion is the key. You'll find that you actually always do less if you do full range of motion than if you do like 3/4 of motion because you're not using that very end of the muscle to get that contraction initially. So you never use it. So when you get out there, you're not going, oh my gosh, it's hard. You wind up throwing your body to make that contraction for you because you never would ever develop that. So you'll throw your back to get your arms to get that motion. People like to throw their body weight to get power weight. It's just them moving weight. They're not really contracting muscle. So if you want to develop, it's about contracting the muscles. You do it without trying to throw your body. Now, in the end, if you're on 18, you got to get to 20, you're gassed out. Yes, it's okay to throw your body to get that just a laugh on because you really wipe yourself out first 18 times. But you shouldn't be doing it from the very beginning. You got to do it when you're wiped out. Because now you're gassed out. You're just trying to get what you can, and that's okay because you did wipe yourself out from the beginning. So that's okay to do. Keep your mind, like I said, when training any weight or even like do push-ups, the range of motion that's the key. You don't just throw weights to get your repetition done. So you say, "Oh, I did it." You got to do it with the right concentration of energy, contraction of the muscle. That will give you the best development. That will give you the best look, and it'll give you the best growth. So hopefully, that lighten your broaden of training.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So let's do other questions or comments that we have. Eric says that muscle memory, I have to train a good time per day. Are you asking if you need to train a specific amount of time per day? I'm not sure. Let me know, Eric. Please clarify. And then Darren says, speaking of snakes, I'm now an experienced snake rouster. All right. That's pretty impressive, brother. I don't think I'd personally want to do that, but there is a use and a need for it. So that's cool. John says, no doubt. Oh, no, don't do that. Sifu fu. It is contagious. He was talking about your yawning. I know. I was like, I was feeling really awake, and then I keep hearing a yawn, another yawn, another yawn. And I'm like, maybe I need to take a nap, guys. I don't know. I may need to go do some qigong in the middle of this so I can wake back up from all those yawns. Darren says, caught and released my first dugite. It was in a lounge room. Neato. All right, cool. Are you gonna like be doing that as a service? That'd be neat. John says, if you can't do a pull up or a chin up, use a chair, put your feet on it, and the further it gets from you, the closer to doing one you will get. Good tip. All right. Let me go back through. I think we answered everyone's questions and we are getting close to that time. I can't believe it. It doesn't feel like we've been on here for almost an hour, but sure enough, we have been. We do have our, go ahead.
I said one of the other ways, if you can't do a pull-up,
Mhm,
is get a chair to where you can go all the way up. Instead of
mhm.
doing the full range of motion, go down maybe a couple inches and pull back up. Go down a couple inches, pull back up. And then after that, go down 3 inches and go back up. 3 inches, go back up. Then after that, 4 inches go up. You'll develop before you know it the range of motion to be able to do it all. Your muscles will start to grow. So you may not be able to do the full range of motion. Just go to that position on the top and just let yourself down an inch or 2 inches, whatever range of motion you can do. Maybe you go down halfway, come up, halfway, come up. Do that 10 times. Then next time try to go a little bit more than halfway. And before you know it, you'll be able to do a pull up.
Right on. All right, those are some great tips. Ross says, in my 70s, seafood and still practicing because of Indian system. Glad I found you in family seafood there in CJ Jamie. Very blessed. Love it. Love it. We are so happy to have you, brother, and you are an inspiration. So keep moving, and that's how you do it. You like hear people all the time, oh, when I'm in my 70s, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. If you think it, you believe it, you will be it. Okay. So you can either keep moving, keep learning, keep training, keep growing, or you can get stagnant and, you know, be those people that need a wheelchair and a walker and this, that, the other. So the body's amazing. It can heal and it can do awesome things. You just have to give it the tools and the movement and the blood flow and the energy and the focus that it needs. And the food that helps too. Eric says, now was just saying. Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right. Well, family, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this webinar up because we're going to go head over to Zoom to meet with our members and do our Q&A for them. Where we're going to do our critiques. Some of them will be live, some will be videos that people sent in, and go more in depth on any topics that our members want to talk about tonight. So we'll see you all next week. Love y'all. God bless. And thanks for joining us. Members, we'll see you in a few minutes. Bye, everyone.